Okay, so this is kind of hard to do because Conn, I thought we were going to retire together. I've known Conn since my first year teaching here at Edenbury High School, 1977-78. I was his senior English teacher, so he was 18. I was 23, and I can't even tell you how awesome it was to have Conn in class, as well as his great friends. They were so helpful to me as a new teacher. Conn always made me feel that he was excited that I was able to give whatever gifts I had. I didn't have a lot of experience, and I remember that I felt very encouraged and very blessed, and at the same time I felt almost like one of their peers. I actually chaperoned prom that year too, and I felt as much as I was pretty much a brand new teacher, I was also very close to that group of students. So the adjectives I would think of were, and especially Conn, very forgiving, very helpful, very enthusiastic, and willing to accept me just the way I was. At the same time, they made me so excited to be at Eden Prairie because they were excited to be there, and Conn was Mr. Eden Prairie. He was homecoming king, pretty much the lead in most of the shows. He sang beautifully. I thought he was going to be on Broadway. He had such dynamic presence. And I think he was also maybe captain of the football team. The AAA, he had arts and he had athletic, and he had all of those in order. Oh, this is really a hard question because I had moments when he was 18 and would come in enthusiastic about Hamlet or something we were studying, and I remember that enthusiasm gave me the courage to show up another day. I actually almost quit my first year here because I didn't think I was smart enough, or I didn't know that I could do the job, and I think that it was probably just that every day he came in and inspired me to continue to learn so I could teach his class as much as I had even learned just the previous day. When I found out he was going to be my boss, the principal, I sent him an email with some old pictures I had of him when he was a senior, and I congratulated him, and he reminded me of how far I had come, and now he was back to continue to inspire and bring joy to Eden Prairie, the students, the teachers. So I think that moment when I realized that he's back was very, very exciting and thrilling for me. He never made me feel that I was anything more than someone who could give and contribute. His passion was always there. And when he started as principal, it was like he's back, and whether he gave a graduation speech or spoke to the Rotary or stopped in my door and just said, "Hi, Wally," or one day he came in and he picked up a styrofoam sword and he was fencing with my students. He was just always someone who was game for thrilling experiences, and yet always had the heart and the passion of a great leader as well as a great contributor. I think he brought passion and love, encouragement, and wanted to really build the Eden Prairie community to something that other people would look at and say, how do they do that? How is it that even though this is such a big school, we still feel like a family? He made us remember that the student, each student has dreams and value and goals, and to reach out to find the heart of each teacher too, and find out what we could all do to bring that family nurturing feeling that would be something we would look back at and be proud that we were part of that community. I think his legacy will definitely be that he built a village, and I'm just so sad that he's leaving. It's going to be rough on me, having been his teacher, and now he's become my teacher, and now I know he's on to amazing things in his life. I know that he'll be dearly missed. Yes, I was very surprised. I was very sad. I was mad. I cried. I went right up to him and said, "You weren't supposed to do that. We were supposed to retire together." Well, that was my idea. But he's still very young, I think. And I think there are other gifts we'll never know about that he won't be able to give in person, but I could still see him probably in the stands at a state football championship, or at a swim meet in Prior Lake, or at a gymnastics meet in Edina, or at a cross-country meet in another school. I know that even though he won't be our leader in name, he will always lead by example, whether it's from the crowd or it's in front of a podium. He comes from a great legacy of McCartans, having had the privilege of being a teacher of many of them. I know that he will continue to inspire as he was inspired by his dad and his family as well. So I bet he'll be the most amazing grandpa. I can just imagine that those kids would be so lucky to have him in their lives. Well, as a student, I was teaching the most challenging advanced English class, the predecessor of AP Literature. I think we might have called it pre-college literature back then. So he took on that challenge, and he came into it with passion, energy, enthusiasm, not unlike anything that he has exhibited here as principal. That's what Conn is about. The very fact that he was not only pretty much top in most of the areas of our school back then, from football to theater to homecoming king to kind of being sort of a really funny guy with a great sense of humor. He lit up the room. He would be the student that if he was absent, there would be definitely a feeling that something very important was missing. He was very, very well loved by faculty as well as by students. And when he came back as principal, I think those of us who were still there, who were his teachers, were just delighted because of his energy and his belief in just solid, strong sense of community. So, no, I don't remember his grades. I maybe saved some of his papers. I do have his yearbook, and I have what he wrote to me in his yearbook, which filled up almost a page. So that says that he cared enough to take the time at the end of a long senior year to say some words of wisdom, which I have read over and over again over the years. I'm just really glad I got to be his teacher and have him be my boss, and I count him as a very good friend. Oh, I think good isn't even the beginning of a possible word. He was a stellar principal. He defined what being a principal is all about. He loves his students. He loves his faculty. He loves Eden Prairie. And he built a community that really nurtured a sense of family. I always felt listened to. I always felt encouraged, supported, and I just know we're going to talk about the legacy of Conn. I could say of Mr. McCartan, but that doesn't even seem right. Nobody really calls him Mr. McCartan except people who don't know him. He's Conn, and he is absolutely the epitome of what we all would want in a leader of a school and a community. So, thank you so much, Conn. I'm going to miss you incredibly. Okay, Mr. McCartan, look what I have here. I have your yearbook from 1978, and I have a picture of you in my class, a crazy picture. There you are with your homecoming robe, with the homecoming queen, in a crazy, crazy conglomeration of students who took the most advanced class in the English department that year. It was like AP English, but we called it pre-college literature. And this is what you wrote to me as you were leaving the high school. And now this is what I'm going to read, part of it to you, as you are leaving the high school again, and I'm still here. So I'm going to read this part. You said, I want to tell you that whenever I get sentimental about this year, I'll think of you because you kind of got me to appreciate the value of memories and enthusiasm and how blessed we are. So that's what I say to you. Thank you for the memories. Thank you for the blessings. Thank you for the enthusiasm. That was a long time ago. Thank you so much.